Yes, marathon. What is it? Half marathon, okay. I didn't expect that, I didn't know about it, so that's going on this morning. So we have a wonderful program for you. We have a wonderful program for you this morning. We are continuing our theme on faith, and we have Cord Hassinger as our speaker today. He's going to be speaking, and I think something just clicked with my microphone, but that's okay. You can still hear me, right? Can you still hear me? Okay. All good. All is well. So we have a wonderful program for you this morning. I always say that you will feel better when you leave than you did when you came in. I will continually say that. And we are going to have our spiritual mind treatment done by our licensed practitioner, Fanny Munlin. So please help me welcome Fanny.
Good morning. Let's get settled. Take a deep breath and go within to the Spirit of God within each one of us. Recognizing that there is but one power, one present, one source of all life, and each one of us is an individualization of the power and the presence of God. And then we move forward this day claiming our inheritance with the divine presence. Being one with God, we let go of doubt and fear and anxiety and know that the power and the presence of God is divinely guiding our actions and our reactions. We move forward in confidence and faith that God is all there is and there is nothing else. Nothing to impede our progress, nothing to block our way. We move forward knowing and accepting this idea that God is the source and substance of our lives, and all that we desire, all that we need come forth by the power and the presence of God working in and around and through us, and is expressing as the thing that we want and need. And we know that this power is omnipotent, omni-action, and omnipresent, everywhere, equally present, in all things. And as we let go and let God, greater joy, greater health, greater prosperity come forth easily, effortlessly. For being one with God, there is nothing that can prevent us from moving forward. And the joy of being one with God gives us the ability to make choices that are supportive of all that we do. Make choices that are good for ourselves and for friends and for relatives. And in our workday activity, we use this power to guide our thoughts with the people that we work with, the people that we see, family members, relationships, prosperity. All the good that each one of us desire is already waiting for us, waiting for our recognition that we are one with God, one with the power and the presence of God that is always available, always ready to say yes to our demands. And we move forward this day and throughout the remainder of this year, clinging to that faith that all things are possible with God. And with praise and gratitude for the love of God, the divine guidance of God, I release this treatment into the law of mind and action, where it's accepted and acted upon at once, and so it is.
So it is. That is the way it is. Wow, that was wonderful, Fanny. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that sets the tone for our lesson this morning. And now I'm going to do the reading for you this morning. So I'm reading on acceptance, which has everything to do with faith. Acceptance is really something that is very, very important. And this is from 365 Days, Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And Ernest Holmes says, "Today I accept my own affirmations. There is nothing in me that can contradict them. I have a deep inward sense, feeling, conviction, and complete faith that there is a power of good governing everything, that it is governing completely with absolute certainty, without deviation, without exception, and that there is nothing to oppose it, to change it, to limit or circumscribe its action. I abandon myself to this faith, live in its atmosphere, and accept its conclusion. I know that I am a divine being on the pathway of an endless self-expression, and that the eternal God is my host now and forevermore. I am the Almighty God walking before me, and be thou perfect. And so it is. And now, I'm doing a lot of things this morning. We have our announcements. So, our announcements are good because we have a wonderful Wednesday night for you, and I'm hearing all kinds of good things about that. Barbara Munlin, our licensed practitioner, is doing The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, Catherine Ponder's wonderful book, and that is on Wednesdays, this coming Wednesday night, and it's at 4 West 76th Street at the Unitarian Center from 6:30 until 8:30 in the evening. So if you are looking to create some more prosperity, some more joy in your life, please take advantage of this Wednesday evening class. We are also having some more classes that will be available for you. They will probably be starting sometime in April, and we will have announcements about that as well. And we will have more workshops for you. I did a tapping workshop last weekend that was really very, very good. It was very powerful. I really got a lot from it myself, and I think everyone else did as well. Tapping is really wonderful. It's very, very good for you. Make it a part of your daily routine, and it will bring you so many blessings. You can go on YouTube and find a lot of those tapping videos, okay? So, having said all of that, we now have our wonderful Ashira, who is our guest musical artist, and we welcome Yoichi back from Japan. So, take it away. Thank you.
Good morning. All right. Yeah, it's good. Okay. We're going to go ahead and welcome Spirit in with this, one of my favorite tunes from Ricky Byers. To shine its light as we know the song saying use me. Oh God, I stand. Hold on, Yuichi. You guys know how I do it. So, Barbara, I love that you're clapping. And I know that Barbara knows the song, and I know a lot of you guys know the song because you guys knew exactly where to clap. So that means if you know the words, then you got to invite Spirit right now. We had a wonderful treatment. We had a wonderful reading. Let's sing the song and lift up the energy together. Can we do that? Okay, let's start again from Use Me. 1. Okay. 1, 2, use me. No, use me, just right from the chorus. Okay. 1, second chorus. Use me. Use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me. Oh to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Here your part comes again. And needing us to shine its light, needing us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Won't you show me all that I must do? Then show me all that I must do.
Great song. Thank you very much, Ashira and Yoichi. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And that sets the tone for our lesson, as did the treatment and the reading this morning. So now it is my pleasure to introduce you to someone you already know. He is our licensed practitioner, Cord Hassinger, and he is going to speak for us today on faith. So please welcome him.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm here this morning to give you my take on faith. And I can tell you that I have faith that someday in the future, I'm going to be able to stand up here and speak extemporaneously like Reverend Loretta. But today, I'm referring to some notes. So I believe that life has two requirements. And one is simply showing up for life and being present in the moment. And the other is having faith in yourself when you do show up. So, if you show up feeling down and insecure and full of doubt, life is not going to be very pleasant for you. Your life really is an occasion, so step up and rise to it. It takes real courage to grow up and turn out to be who you really are. And in this teaching, we don't say that life is a battle. The author Florence Shinn, who I read a lot, would call it a game, and she taught us how to play it. The one who has faith in his own ability accomplishes far more than the one who has no confidence in himself. So when you have faith in something, there is nothing to oppose it. And those who have great faith ultimately have great power. So, what exactly is faith? Faith is a belief in a spiritual law which directly and specifically responds to us. Faith is a faculty of the mind that finds its highest expression in our spiritual attitude. It's a mental attitude, so inwardly embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Faith is like your best friend or your own personal coach that cheers you on no matter what the false appearances may be. So sometimes we are aware of this friend, and other times we are oblivious and go into doubt and fear mode. And that is the opposite of faith. Faith can be consciously generated. It is complete when it is both consciously and subconsciously accepted. So, therefore, spiritual mind treatment, faith, and belief are closely related mental attitudes. Treatment has power by our belief and acceptance that it will work, and that is what faith is. Faith is real to the one who experiences it, and it cannot be denied to the one who has proven it. Once again, those who have great faith have great power. When the one praying becomes convinced his prayer will automatically be answered, it is, because believing makes it so. Faith never takes no for an answer. Sometimes it's daunting to face daily life by yourself with no one to support you and give you a pep talk. It takes great personal discipline to get up every day and put on a happy face all by yourself and to do your mental and spiritual work so you can seize the day. For me, it's like going to the gym. I hate going, but I force myself to go anyway. Then, once I'm there, I'm so happy I made the effort, and I actually feel better. It's the same thing if you develop a morning routine that includes a spiritual practice. That is why when I come here on Sunday, I usually like to get a spiritual mind treatment after the service. Having someone else here know and see my highest good and then verbally announce it to the universe is a great confidence booster. It helps me keep my faith. Then throughout the week, I reach out to my network of positive thinking friends for support. And I'm learning now to release those people who can bring me down. And we all know those types. So, how do we get this thing called faith? Well, first, stop hanging out with negative people. Then we have to work on getting rid of fear, which is the opposite of faith. We must understand that faith is based on the knowledge that there is nothing to fear. We all have a belief in something. Therefore, a belief in anything other than faith is a belief that hurts. Someone coined the acronym that I love to remember. FEAR stands for false evidence appearing real. We must have a conviction that all is well. In order to keep faith, we cannot permit any thought to weaken this conviction. A perfect idea backed by faith is when believing makes it so. Therefore, don't be disturbed by false appearances. When we realize that the principle of manifesting good is not bound by the failures of our past, we can produce miraculous demonstrations. Thinking correctly makes it so. Believing makes it so. The one who has faith in his own ability accomplishes far more than the one who has no confidence in himself. And on that note, I want to read a poem by Raymond Hollywell. I've stood up here many times before and have read this poem, so you may remember it. It's titled, You Can. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out in the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think big. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So that, my friends, is the function of faith. It does not require concentration, just a realization and conviction that it works. So, take your actions with confidence. Know that all conditions are the result of mental causes. The more we practice, the more positive results we will have. This gives us more confidence and ultimately more faith. The greatest of all teachers not only had great faith, but used it in a positive way, while others used it incorrectly. The function of faith is believing. You've heard the different terminology in our popular culture that refers to faith. You've heard of blind faith. The fact is that everybody has some sort of faith. Most of us have faith we will make it through the night and wake up in the morning. Blind faith is a commitment based on evidence to come. Blind faith is the exact opposite of a leap in the dark. And that leads us to a leap of faith. The saddest commentary of a life not fully lived contains these three words: shoulda, coulda, woulda. So, don't let the fear of failure stop you from trying new things. Some psychologists classify every human emotion as either love or fear-based. So, it's not unusual for some of us to base our decisions on fear. Fear of rejection, fear of poverty, fear of looking bad, and so on and so on. Just remember that that's your made-up story, and it's all fiction. Fear-based decisions can often result in regret, while love-based decisions can create lasting happiness. And love-based choices have one more quality their fear-based counterparts lack. They're enduring. Let me quote Joel Osteen. Faith activates God, fear activates the enemy. We have the gift of choice. To get rid of being confused, just make a decision. The key to learning is using your intuition to make right choices. And remember, intuition is learned by practice. So if you feel you've made a wrong decision, you can go back and start over. Remember, principle is not bound by precedent. In this teaching, we get to have a do-over, and we are not judged by it. If following your desire seems crazy, but not following it is becoming more and more difficult, your choices come down to taking that leap of faith or living with regret by not having tried. So, buck up. Stop complaining. Get some courage. Take that leap. Now, how about negative faith? Most of you are probably sitting here thinking that all faith is positive. Well, I'm here to tell you it isn't. Negative faith runs rampant in some people. We all know these people. They are members of the Sky is Falling Club or the Glass is Half Empty Club. Worry is their negative use of faith, a faith in something other than the divine. Just remember that fear believes in a negative future, and faith believes in a positive future. Therefore, what does fear and faith have in common? They both believe in a future that has not happened yet. So, if neither the positive nor negative future has not happened yet, why not choose to believe in the positive? Remember, thinking makes it so. What do you have to lose other than the fear that is sabotaging your present success? Do you know there are degrees of faith? Have you ever noticed that your faith might be big in some areas and small in others? O ye of little faith. Doubt and fear can bring us down. You need to work on your weak spots. And lastly, we have to keep the faith. How do we keep the faith once we have it? You have to protect your consciousness. You must not allow anything to enter your thought which will weaken your conviction. This is simply mental housekeeping. You must know the truth about something without accepting someone else's false beliefs. This takes mental discipline, and that means practice, practice, practice. Once we have the faith, we have to work daily to keep it. Don't quit in the face of difficulty. Don't judge by appearances. Remember, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. We are our own worst enemy. We are the ones that can make challenges more difficult by our own stinking thinking thoughts. So just remember, God, the ultimate intelligence, has not lost your file. That would be impossible. You have to mentally decide what you're putting out there to the universe. Is it going to be this or this? Remember, God has not lost your file, but he can only give us what we can consciously embody and accept. We must always know by our faith that the truth which we declare is superior to the condition we want to change. So, in other words, speak a positive faith-based language. When you have faith in something, there is nothing to oppose it. Don't limit your faith to what has already been done in the past. Someone once said, keep it simple, stupid. But I like this quote from someone much smarter. Albert Einstein said this, God always takes the simplest way. So I leave you with this. Faith without doing your homework is dead. Correct thinking makes it so. Have faith, keep the faith, and pursue the unknown end. As Dr. Seuss would say, you're off to great places. Today is the day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thanks so much for listening. Keep the faith. I have to run out now because I got to go to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that talk. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Does someone have a program? I have a program up there, and I just need one. Thank you, Kathleen. Okay. I just want to kind of, I'll just say a few things. I love that lesson this morning. That was wonderful. And I just want to kind of, we have a few minutes, so I just want to kind of talk a little bit about what he said about faith and love. I love that because when you do something with faith and with love rather than with fear, take this home with you today. Take this home with you for the rest of the week. When you do something, as Court said, with love instead of with fear, then you are accepting yourself, you are accepting your idea, you are blessing yourself, and you are moving forward in life with the spiritual idea that you're working on, whatever that may be for you. Do it from the place of love rather than from the place of fear. And I think that's what he was really talking about. That was a wonderful talk. Thank you for that. Okay, and now we're going to have our offering affirmation, and then we'll have some more wonderful music from Ashira and Yoichi. Music with Ashira and Yoichi.
So in honor of Women's Month, Happy Women's Month, we're going to do this wonderful song. Clearly, Yoichi likes this song. Thank you.
And Aretha Franklin's got nothing on you. Let me tell you, that was fabulous. That was fabulous. Thank you. Thank you, Yoichi, also. That was wonderful. So at this time, we have a